Assalamu alaikum, I'm Tasmin Mustafa. Our today's topic is United Nations Organization. For our convenience of understanding, we will divide the topic into some points. First of all, genesis of United Nations, then organizational structure, third, characteristics, and finally, international peacekeeping mechanism. The first point is definition and genesis. The United Nations Organization, called the UN in short, is an intergovernmental organization to promote international cooperation. A replacement for the ineffective League of Nations, the organization was established on 24 October 1945 after the Second World War in order to prevent another such conflict. When it was founded, it had only 51 members, and now there are 193 members of it. Its predecessors, the League of Nations, was created by the Treaty of Versailles in 1919 and is disbanded in 1946 after it failed to prevent another worldwide war. The international nature of the organization is manifested in several official languages such as Arabic, Chinese, English, French, Russian, and Spanish. The headquarters of the United Nations is in New York City, and its experiences uh, are extraterritoriality. Further, the main offices are situated in Geneva, Nairobi, and Vienna. The second point is the objective of United Nations. Its objective include number one, maintaining international peace and security. Number two, promoting human rights. Number three, number three, uh, number three, fostering social and economic development. Number four, protecting the environment. Number five, providing humanitarian and in cases of any disaster, natural calamity, and armed forces. Uh, and the third point is the aim of United Nations organization. Mainly, the aim of United Nations organization is to save succeeding generation from the devastating consequences of the war, to reaffirm faith in fundamental human rights, to promote social progress and its better standards of life in larger freedom. And the fourth point is difference between United Nations and League of Nations. The League of Nations was an intergovernmental organization founded on 10th January 1920. As a result of the Paris Peace Conference that ended the First World War, the United Nations has more universality than the League of Nations. All great powers are joined in United Nations organization, which count it as a universal organization, while the League of Nations not have most important members. Uh, Most important members uh, that time, as USA, whereas the League of Nations had 58 members. United Nations had 193 members. Besides these differences, there are some structural differences between League of Nations and United Nations organizations. And the fifth point is the genesis. After the World War plunged into another devastating war, the major Allied powers agreed that a new global organization ought to be established to help manage international affairs. The agreement was first articulated when U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt and British Prime Minister Winston Churchill signed the Atlantic Charter in August 1941. And the sixth point is Article 2 of United Nations Charter. The essential principles underlying the purposes and the functions of the organization are listed in Article 2, such as they include the sovereign equality of its members, dispute settlement by the peaceful meaning being refrained from the threat are used of for the contravention of the purpose of the United Nations. And the seventh point is United Nations peacekeeping mechanism. Peacekeeping is one among a range of activities undertaken by the United Nations to maintain international peace and security throughout the world. The other activities are conflict prevention and mediation, peacemaking, peace enforcement, peace building. United Nations peacekeeping is guided by three basic principles. First of all, consent of the parties. Uh, Secondly, impartiality. Third and finally, non-use of force except in self-defense and defense of all the mandate. And finally, we can say that conflict prevention, peacemaking, peacekeeping, peace in enforcement rarely occur in a linear or uh, sequential way. National interests prevent all efforts of the United Nations meaningless in establishing lasting peace. We can only hope that the United Nations doesn't become extinct like the League of Nations for its futility. Thank you so much. My speech has been finished here. Thank you so much.